Welcome to another Conversation Off the Clock. Hi, I'm Carmina Constantino Torres and this is Casey After Hours.
Kinalabutan ako.
Ano
Bakit
ka
ikaw
ba?
nagsabi, kinalabutan ako? Parang nagkaroon ng moral compass kasi si Big Brother eh. So people really believed na meron silang matututunan kay Kuya. At that time na wala tayong kapera-pera at nagre-retrench tayo ng tao, we stood by a vision. Just a vision, Carmina. Di ko naman alam, mag-work ba yan o hindi. Ang problema namin dyan, hindi ang dami nila, walo sila. Pero masakit yung iiwanan ka rin eh. Masakit talaga yun, masakit yun. I cannot say now na I fully understand. She was conscious from the start. She didn't want to be in my shadows. Ikaw, pwede ka mag-iaw.
You may not always see him, but his work is everywhere. On screens, on stage, and in the stars he's helped shape, his influence runs deep. Pag nakita niya, hinawakan niya, alam mo na, nakalinya na ang susunod na hahangaan ng madla. Pero hanggang kinang ng mga bituin lang ba ang kanyang inaalagaan? O kahit nasa likod ng ilaw at kamera, siya ba'y maaasahan din? Parang Kuya. And while he has helped write the story of countless stars, is he done writing his? Joining us today, Lauren Dyogi. Direk Lauren, thanks for joining us here on the podcast.
Finally. Sorry, ilang beses ko na attempting to
Avoid?
try not to.
Why?
Nakakatakot ka.
Sobra naman. I always say, pag wala kang kasalanan sa bayan, wala ka dapat ikatakot.
Kasalanan sa bahay.
Kaya nga, may ambag ka nga, hindi ba?
Sa tax pa lang, may ambag tayo. Dami natin ambag.
Ang dami nating ambag. Kahit na ayaw natin i-ambag, inaambag natin.
nga.
But first of all, congratulations on everything, Bini. First the world tour, and then the Coachella announcement just came out. You've always believed in having this sort of, yung P-pop na tinatawag, from Project Kayumanggi now to a phenomenon as big as Bini. What's the feeling?
Bakit pag ikaw ang sasabi, kinalabutan ako?
Ano
Bakit
ka
pag ikaw
ba?
nagsabi, kinalabutan ako? Parang all of a sudden, meron nang katuturan pala yung ginawa namin.
Oo.
I'm proud for the girls. More than anything, sila naman talaga yung nagtrabaho. Of course, there's a whole team and the whole management backing them up. Pero kung hindi rin naman silang matitinong mga talents, di ba? Kung hindi sila matitinong mga bagong Pilipina, hindi naman natin ito ma-achieve lahat. Eh. Kasi kailangan, di ba? Even if you have the full support, kung ikaw mismo sakit ka sa ulo, naku, paano na? Sayang lang yung pera at yung effort at yung investment, di ba?
But why didn't you, even without the girls now, you believed in a vision. You believed that there was something that the Filipino entertainment industry can contribute to the world entertainment industry. Why did you never let go of that hope and that vision?
Simulan lang natin, Carmina, how it started, di ba? You mentioned Project Kayumanggi. Actually, nagsimula yan nung namumroblema tayo dun sa possibility na hindi tayo marirenew yung franchise natin. So the whole ABS-CBN management came up with, it's actually plans already. What do we do if we lose our franchise? So one of the proposals coming up, what we thought of, let's bank on our talents, di ba? Not only the ones inside ABS, pero as a nation, we're known to be talented people in terms of performing arts, singing and dancing. So, kasi pataas na rin ang sikat na ang K-pop noon, the Hallyu movement,
Yes.
diba? If they can do it, if they can manufacture talents, tayo mga Pilipino, likas, natural, diba?
Likas.
Hindi lang kumakanta, pero gusto kong kumanta.
Yung unang uha mo palang na bata, may tono na, di ba? It's in the water that we
anak ko lang,
drink.
2 years old, kumakanta na.
Diba?
Diba? So, talagang natural ang Pilipino sa larangan ng pagkanta at pagsayaw. So sabi ko, pakinabangan natin yun. When we did the audition, di naman alam ng mga batang to kung ano yung papasukin nila. Alam nila, sasali sila sa Big Brother. Yun ang kanilang audition. But we were at the back of our heads already, naghahanap na rin kami ng bubuin naming grupo.
Let me just segue a bit to Big Brother. That in itself is life-changing for a lot of people, not just those who actually enter and come out of the house, Pero yung mga nanonood, naging goal sa buhay nila. Na gusto ko talaga makapasok ng PBB. Gusto ko talagang kahit mag-audition man lang ako. What is it about that show that sort of really crept into the psyche of especially the young ones? Ba't ganun na lang?
Siyempre, una nakita nila paano nabago ang buhay ng mga housemates, di ba? Yung maakalain nila na, wala akong gagawin. Pupunta lang ako dyan sa loob. Hindi ako kailangan kumanta, wala akong talent. I'll just be myself. Pwedeng mabago ang buhay ko. Pangalawa, lagi nilang sinasabi, gusto kong may matutunan kay Kuya. So a lot of our housemates, they're going through certain questioning in their lives. Ano yung pwede pa nilang mabago sa buhay nila. So I suppose naging parang nagkaroon ng moral compass kasi si Big Brother eh. So people really believed na meron silang matututunan kay Kuya. And that's what we're proud of, na hindi lang to programa na entertainment. We're here because we're also changing the mindset. We make the housemates better people paglabas nila. So I suppose yun yung pinaka-come on.
And the people who watch it as well.
Yes. At
Diba?
saka nakarelate sila. Relatability is high, di ba?
Yeah.
Parang iniisip mo pag nanonood ko, ay kaya ko yan, o pwedeng ako yan, o pag may pinagdaanan yung housemate na yun, ano kayang gagawin ko? Pag natatalo-talo kayo, di ba? Ano ba? Kanino ka bang side? Dapat ba i-express mo yung sentiment mo o dapat tumahimik ka lang? So iba-ibang, so casting is really important when we do Big Brother kasi hindi kayo pwede pare-pareng maingay.
Correct.
Hindi kayo pwede pare-pareng tahimik, di ba? So dapat merong interesting mix of housemates para lumabas yung pwedeng mong matutunan sa isa't isa.
And that's hard. Or is it to like make sure that you get different kinds of people, kasi maaring ganyan sila ngayon, pinapakita nila sa audition and all that, pero mamaya pagpasok iba.
Nung umpisa mas authentic, mas madaling kasi hindi nila kabisado yung programa eh. So talagang hindi pa nila alam laruin. Pero itong mga siyempre 20 years na ang Big Brother, di ba? Meron nang marunong diyan. Meron nang marunong maglaro. Kaya lang, Carmina, ang sinasabi sa amin, even our consultants, 2 weeks lang yan. Lalabas at lalabas ang natural mo.
At totoo nga.
Totoo naman. Totoo. Yung conscious ka sa may camera, yung mga 2 weeks lang yan. After that, parang di mo napansin kung ano na yung natural mo, lumalabas at lumalabas na yun. Ako, pinaka-enjoy ko yung auditions. Sinabi ko to, I've always said na pinakamasaya yung umiikot ako sa iba-ibang bansa, sa iba-ibang parte ng Pilipinas to find yung mga tao na sa tingin ko ay magiging interesting panoorin at may potential din sa industriya. Actually, ang comment nga dati sa atin parang daw yan, talent search o parang artista search. Siyempre, naalala ng mga tao yung mga sumikat na hindi naman nila naalala yung mga housemates na ordinaryo na bumalik na sa kanilang mga regular na buhay. So, kaya sasabihin nila, ay naging talent search yan. Talaga namang may mga lumalabas na maging artista, pero that doesn't mean kung hindi ka artistahin, hindi ka pwedeng interesting housemate na gusto panoorin na tao.
And it takes a keen eye to see those things, diba? Para ka nang may Jedi powers niyan. So, paano mo na-hone yung instinct mo that this guy, this girl, meron yan. Kahit hindi na nakikita ng iba, pero nakikita niyo po.
Siguro yung training ko rin bilang director at saka producer, nasanay na ako dun sa pag nakakaspot ka na. Tsaka siguro yung curiosity ko sa isang tao na interesado pa kitang mas makilala. Mas gusto kong, pag yun meron akong ganun, ibig sabihin may potential yan, pwede yan maging housemate. Ikaw, pwede ka maging housemate. Kung ano sasabihin mo sa bahay, ang dami mong clips. I'm sure.
Ngayon pala, di ba? Ang dami natin i-edit out. Di ba tayo nagsisimula? Ang dami ko nagsinabi. Buti na lang, ikaw yung guest, hindi ako.
Di ba? Viral na viral lahat. Sasabihin mo, kukunin lang clips. Sasabihin lang, ako, yung babae yan.
Yung babae yan, hindi talaga mapigilan. Okay, Direk, you were talking about, Kuya. You've denied it several times. I'm actually heartbroken that it's really not you when we mention Kuya. But what does it take to have that? Kasi akala nung iba, halimbawa, programa lang yan. You just set up cameras, you follow these people around the house doing several activities, right? But there's something else there. There's culture inside the house, a set of values around the house na hindi lang naman basta isang tao lang ang magdadala in the production team. How are you able to do it that the program in itself is an embodiment of who Kuya is in the minds and the hearts of the housemates and of the people who watch it?
I think it's not just Kuya. Kuya becomes a representation. But I think the values that we espouse in the program, it's an ABS value eh. Yan yung value ng mga boss natin, ng mga mentors natin, ng korporasyon na tayo. Yun yung values natin na, di ba, hindi lang naman yan excellence. It's about, giving hope. It's about your courage, about being true to yourself. It's about contributing to the society. Lahat yan. Sa korporasyon natin yan.
Lifting each other up.
Exactly. Diba? Parang hindi naman to yung siraan lang tayo or ano, diba? We have to, yung inclusivity, yung acceptance of our differences. Values natin yon as a company and as a nation actually. Diba? Yun ang gusto naman natin ituro sa ating mga nakakabata, even those who are adult housemates, diba? May chance pa rin naman magbago. Makita nila na ito yung pinaniniwalaan. Actually, ang Pinoy Big Brother, ibang-iba to sa lahat ng Big Brother programs abroad. Because sa ibang bansa, di ba, they capitalize on sensationalized items, yung nudity, yung talagang sobrang sexual content, voyeurism. Tayo hindi naging ganun eh. We were able to steer it into a direction na hindi values-laden ang programa to.
So parang at the end of the day, yes, it was a franchise. It was a global franchise. But then when it came to the Philippine experience, naging extension siya ng Philippine reality and Philippine culture and values. You said you were able to steer it this way, or did it naturally just go there? Na it's going to be about values and.
We didn't know how to do that in the beginning because we were studying. May magic kasi yung format eh. Di ba? Yung putting people together, isolated, no contact with the outside world. Nung pinapalaki natin yung bahay, parang nahirapan kami kasi ang daming mga spasyo. So, lahat sila naghiwa-hiwalay. Pero nung mas maliit pala yung bahay, wala, forced ka. Kausapin mo ako, kausapan kita, i-confront kita. 24/7, ikaw una kong nakikita, pagising, hindi kita maiwasan. So, there was more real and dynamic interaction with the housemates.
We're also connected now, hindi ba? Sa TikTok, ang daming magla-live lang, nakikita mo na. You get insights about how a person is living their life. Hindi ba kayo nagkaroon ng pagtitimbang na is this going to be, kailangan pa ba ng PBB ulit? Kasi ngayon, mag-TikTok ka lang, you know about what another person is going through already. So did you even factor that in, that would they still be interested?
We were concerned actually during the pandemic how we can actually, if Big Brother will still be relevant. Kasi nga, sinasabi mo nga, parang it was easy to connect naman with each other. Pero napansin natin na iba yung interaction na face-to-face, iba yung interaction na digital, iba yung, it tends to be a little more superficial than real-life face-to-face interaction. So, doon nagkaroon ng, mas unique pa yung experience ngayon na nakukulong kayo sa bahay, magkakasama kayo, wala kayong cellphone, kailangan nyo mag-usap, meron kayong magulang na hindi nyo nakikita, pero pwede nyo puntahan sa confession room at makipagkwentuhan doon and to express yourself. At kini-question ka rin. Kini-question din, subliminally kasi kini-question ni Kuya minsan, why are you behaving that way? Diba? So, meron ka rin introspection na, yung pala yun. Ano ba yung sasabi ni Kuya? Meron ba siyang pinaparinig sa akin? Kasi sometimes it's suggested.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily outrightly said na, uy, mali yung ginagawa mo.
Correct.
But
parang you lead them to a certain conclusion.
Tatanungin ka. Parang join, isasanay ka lang. Na-realize mo ba na ito yung anong observation mo sa kunyari, the other housemates na meron kang conflict, So, may mga ganung unique instant interaction.
When it came to, choosing the girls for Bini, because they basically went through the same. In fact, baka mas malala pa nga yung napagdaanan nilang proseso in terms of the rigor and the discipline and all that, no? Ano yung naging guidance ninyo when you were choosing the girls?
Ako, actually, I took the lead on that. Unang-una, particular ako about the height. I wanted them to have a certain height. Director nga ako so gusto ko rin yung visually.
Yung symmetry.
Oo, yung symmetry at the same time, yung hulma na halos magkakasing katawan. Kasi if you see them dancing together, synchronized, na parang ganda tingnan, di ba?
Yeah.
So medyo may ganun kami. As in, pinapasukat ko yun. Bata pa sila noon, 15 years old.
Yeah.
Kailangan ko sukatin, tatay mo, nanay mo. Ano yung potential mo for growth? Siyempre,
Pati yun!
Siyempre, there's a science to it. There's also a science to the whole thing, di ba? Pag-stretch ba tong taong to, do the stretch or what? Tatangkad ba to?
Tiningnan nyo din yung mga magulang
Inaral
nila.
Inaral namin yun. Yung physicality muna, medyo conscious ako dun. Okay? And then the talent, dapat may basic ka man lang. Kasi we will train you If you're going to follow the Korean template na sila nga, di ba? You don't have to sing and dance, matuturuan ka nila. Naniwala ako dun. Kasi dati paniniwala ako, dapat inborn yung talent. Ngayon, hindi. Pag inukulan mo ng panahon, inukulan mo pagtsatsaga, matututunan mo yan. So, sa kanila, either they can sing or they can dance.
Yeah.
Kasi Sheena is a good dancer but was not singing at the time. And then sila Colette naman, singers na noon at sila Maloy. So, syempre yung mga kasama ko sa panel when we were choosing, Coach Kichi was a voice coach. Si Mickey naman was a dancer. So may kanya silang choice. So it came to a point na I had to decide sino dito. Yung gut ko naman, it's my gut naman of who will be a good member of the group. But then again, it doesn't stop there. Kasi magkakasundo ba sila?
Yun na nga.
Hindi ko naman alam yun. Yun ang hindi ko mapapredict. So may bootcamp and because nagkataon na force sila to live together then, we really were planning to put them in a dormitory. Pero uuwi sila ng weekends sa mga magulang nila. Nag-shutdown, nag-lockdown.
Nag-pandemic
Wala nangyari. Talagang force sila to live together 24/7, walang uwian. Kaya doon dumating yung namatayan na si Sheena, hirap kaming paalisin siya because it wasn't just possible. Doon naman nagkaroon ng bond yung mga girls. As in, hindi lang bonds of the emotional, yung homesickness, yung galing sa probinsya na hindi marunong magtagalog, hirapan nila yun, natutunan nilang mahalin ang isa't isa because they had a common bond and they had a story. They came from the pandemic and they came from a shutdown. Na talagang kini-question nila yung matutuloy ba to o hindi to matutuloy. Paninindigan ko ba to o hindi ko to paninindigan. Because at that point, nobody knew if it would be a success. And they're going to spend their youth and give up their studies and
Was that weighing you down as well during that time? Because we were faced with a shutdown, we were faced with a pandemic. You believed in this vision so much, and yet parang the odds were stacked up against them somehow and against you in a way because you're the lead here.
Correct. At wala tayong pera.
Ikaw na nagsabi. We were bleeding.
Exactly. We didn't have we were not on air. We were bleeding. Doon naman pumasok yung sila CLK at sila MLL at si Tita Cory. Nananindigan din naman sila. Hindi. Let's push through with it. So naniwala rin sila doon sa vision na pilano na natin 2017, 2018. Pinanindigan na rin naman. And it came to a point na hanggang kailan ba natin paninindigan to? Because there was no return. For how many years? 5 years? It was only in 2024 that the girls we were starting to reap naman what we invested in. So doon pa lang. Pero na yun? We started 2018, 2019. Ang laking puhunan na yung para sa kumpanya. Ang laki na rin naman na na-invest. At that time, na wala tayong kapera-pera at nagre-retrench tayo ng tao, we stood by a vision. Just a vision, Carmina. Di mo naman alam, mag-work ba yan o hindi.
Can you even take us back to a point wherein you realize, okay, this is it. They're picking up.
Alam mo, corny akong tao, Carmina.
Lahat tayo corny. Hindi tayo magtatagal dito, hindi tayo corny.
Ayoko yung
totoo.
I don't want to gloat or I don't want to, in a feeling na, wow, you've achieved, di ba?
Not that, but parang,
kailan ko naramdaman?
Parang,
Ako late ako makaramdaman kasi nga medyo skeptic ako Tinatanong ko, baka ano lang yan. Alam mo na yun, baka ano lang yan, tsamba lang yan, o baka ano lang yan. So, nung actually, pag nagkikwentuhan, ang sinasabi ng team especially MQ, yung Paskuhan sa UST yata talagang doon nagsimula, naging viral yung girls. At nagkataon, ang ganda rin ng music kasi nila Roxy na binigay Star Music. Ganda rin naman yung binigay nila music na Pantropico, and Salamin. That album really exploded.
Yeah.
Doon talaga yung ano. And then, kasi lahat nung pagla-live ng mga girls in a streaming platform before at saka yung kanilang mga kalokohan na magkakasama sila sa bahay, lumabas yun, nag-resurface. Doon nila nakilala yung mga girls. So I think it's not only the music, it's because they latched on to the persona, to the bond of the girls, and to their personalities. Kaya sila nakilala. Kasi dati, ang problema namin dyan, hindi ang dami nila, walo sila. Sino ba yan? Parang hindi lumalabas yung personalities. But you needed some time, some gestation, just so people get to know them better. You allow them to grow also. Kasi nung neneng-nenay pa naman sila nun, wala pa naman sila.
Meron ka bang feeling, Direk, that the whole process sort of stole their childhood? May guilt ka ba ng gano'n kahit papano?
Lagi nasa utak ko na kailangan merong mapuntahan yung sakripisyo.
May balik, no?
May balik sa kanila. Kasi nga, binigay nila yung hiningi natin na they gave up on their youth. They were separated from their families. The most important time na kailangan kasama nila magulang nila, nasa atin sila. Di ba? Nasa poder natin sila. So, ang laking-laking responsibilidad nun. Magulang tayo. Di ba? Hindi naman pwedeng. Di ba? So, ganun yung responsibility mo as a manager, as an employee, as a leader, di ba? Meron kang responsibilidad sa tingin mong vision mo, gusto mong pumunta doon, kailangan mo silang bitbitin, pero responsibilidad mo, pag sumama sila sa iyo, kailangan naman may reward yan in the end. So, more than me feeling good na, wow, the girls, I'm happy that the team and the girls are reaping talaga, they're harvesting something na akala lang natin, pare-pareho lang natin pinaniwalaan, pero wala naman tayong kasiguruduhan kung makukuha natin yung inaasam natin na pero wala, medyo malayo. Pero ngayon with Coachella, baka palapit na. I mean, So
I therefore conclude, corny ka nga talaga. Pero ano ba yan sa'yo? Built-in ba yan that you don't... Because that's how you remain steady, right? And steadfast. That if you don't believe your own hype, you don't... Has that always been your
as a person, nahihiya lagi ako to magbuhat ng sariling bangko or to be able to sell myself. I'm not good at that. I'm not good at selling myself or even So, parang I'd like my work to speak for itself and yun na lang ang basihan. Kasi kung naalangan ako. So, ganon din siguro ko sa mga kasamahan ko. Ayoko munang sabihin na, we made it, or laging, hindi, parang, pag inisip mo kasi yun, titigil yung gigil mo to go further.
Yeah.
Diba? So, kailangan, wag kang munang, okay, we're getting this, but there's, malayo pa tayo dun sa talagang ultimately, arena ang nagpa-perform kayo sa napakalaking 70,000 abroad, ha? We're talking about locally, abroad. Yun yung naman talagang target ng... Yun talaga yung full circle na yung vision natin na, wow, nakapagdala tayo ng Pilipino. Ito lang talagang actually to think of it, nakaproud naman talaga na naimbitahan tayo sa Coachella. Diba?
Can you give us a backstory there? Like, how did it happen? When did it happen?
Laging ang nasa utak natin, diba, one way to go international is to be invited in the big festivals. And Coachella is Lollapalooza and Coachella. Those are So when it was a vision of CLK to hire an international group of consultants who will guide us in terms of how do we bring our artists to the global arena. So we are guided by that. So we were connected to kasi abroad naman agents.
Correct.
Sanay tayo na when we bring a show abroad, Filipino yung katrabaho rin natin. Ngayon, ang naging when we were able to get an agent, nadala tayo sa promoters na non-Filipinos. And these promoters, ang vision talaga nun, if we are able to impress the promoters, itong mga promoters na to, sila rin yung magdadala sa atin sa festival. So we needed to impress our promoters. So that's Live Nation, that's All Things Live, lahat ng yan. So Itong world tour, recent world tour,
Yeah, so that was it.
it was an investment. Wala tayong kita dyan. It was really a risk on our end. It was really CLK's vision, Tita Cory saying na, hindi, gawin nyo yan. Kailangan nyo gawin yan. Because that's a month of being away from more lucrative opportunities locally. But we took that risk. We went there. Talagang, first time, di ba? Dikit-dikit na lugar. Minsan nga, hindi ko naintindihan. May Houston na, may Dallas pa, 2 hours lang yan. Dito sa atin yan, biyahin lang nila yan. But we needed to be able to prove that somehow we have a crowd. We have an audience. And after that, after the world tour, boom, that's before the end of, hindi, kailan ba to? Parang pagbalik natin, we had big shows kasi in Dubai, in LA, in San Francisco. Parang yung the important decision makers were impressed that, there's something in Bini. So we got an invitation to be part of so sinasabi ng tao ngayon, binayaran daw natin. Hindi naman po totoo yun.
Hindi po ganon. Hindi po ganon.
At wala tayong pambayad.
kahit na meron, di ba? Sa standing natin ngayon, dun ba ilalagay, di ba?
Pero we have to prepare for it.
Yeah.
We have to prepare
So
the girls for that.
So that whole world tour was sort of an audition.
Yes. And we were still not convinced that was good enough. We felt that it will take two more schedules of a world tour para makakuha pa tayo ng traction, especially with the important promoters.
But Bini though, Direk, is just one group out of the many talents that consider you as their mentor and their kuya and their guiding light in this business. Iba ba ang paghuhulma sa grupo sa paghuhulma sa isang individual na gustong sumikat, gustong maging artista?
Siyempre, bawat isang artist o bawat isang pagkatao, di ba? Unique na yan eh. Hindi, parang walang template kung paano papasikatin ng isang artista. Meron kang nakikitang mga basic potential, pero nagbabago yun depende sa ibang elemento, which is both internal and external. Di ba? Internal, yung pagkatao niya, meaning gaano ba kapursigido tong taong to, how patient. Kasi hindi ko madidictate kung gaano kabilis kang sisikat or gaano kahaba yung kasikatan mo or how you're going to deal with fame and fortune. Kasi may iba, nalulunod na sa sinasabi na kalahating baso, di ba? So, isa yun. Meron din naman yung external, yung pamilya. Minsan, ang laking epekto nung how the family will pressure an artist. Lalo na pag breadwinner yung artist na yan. Yung mga sulsol, yung mga sinasabi, hindi, mas mayroon ka potential dito, mas mayroon ka opportunity dito. So, yung mga bagay na yun, hindi ko lahat yun control. So, kailangan, dalawang bagay, maniwala ako dun sa artist na kaya ko siyang bigyan ng oportunidad o mahanapan siya ng oportunidad para ma-attain niya yung fullest potential niya. At the same time, kailangan din siyang maniwala sa akin at sa team ng Star Magic at sa team ng ABS-CBN na kaya naming ibigay sa kanya or matulungan siyang ma-achieve yung inaasam niyang pangarap.
Have you ever had, the biggest heartache in terms of believing in a talent, the talent not believing in himself or herself, and you just had to let go? Pero paniwala ka.
Tissue time na ba? Hindi. People will always say, in the industry, our mentors would always say, this is a very thankless job. Which is true. Masakit yung panahon na you're down. Kasi ako like, producer talaga ako tsaka director eh. Nung nabigyan ako ng pagkakataon to be with Star Magic, hindi naman yun hiningi eh. Kinailangan. Kasi we were downsizing. We need to take on multiple roles in the company. So I took on. Ako naman, pag binibigyan ako ng challenge, hindi ako pala hindi. So I took on the challenge and we were really in a very, very difficult situation. Kumbaga, lugmok tayo nun, di ba? And there were opportunities na, pakikiusapan mo yung mga artists natin to stay in the company and to samahan tayo to a place na hindi tayo sigurado. There's so much uncertainty. Pero masakit yung iiwanan ka rin eh. Masakit talaga eh. Masakit yun. I cannot say now na I fully understand. Mentally, yes, naiintindihan ko na those were uncertain times and they wanted to be more secure and that's why they opted to go elsewhere. Diba? Pero hindi mo rin maalis sa atin na masaktan na iniwan mo kami sa panahong kailangan namin kayo. Diba? Yun yung pag binabalikan mo, meron talaga siyang sakit. May siya. So minsan, 'di ba, kung you want to take on unawain mo na lang na talagang ganun yung pagkakataon. Pero masakit eh. Masakit. Normal naman tayong tao, di ba? Masakit.
How did you first know how to trust yourself and your gut? Because this cannot be learned, what you're doing. This cannot be taught. It can only be learned through experience and then eventually belief in yourself.
I've always trusted my mentors and my bosses. Pag binigyan ka ng responsibilidad, alam nila na kaya mong gawin yun. So, sisimulan ko sa ganung paniniwala na hindi naman ito ibibigay sa akin kung wala sila sa tingin nila hindi ko magagawa. Okay, so at the same time, ang mindset ko kasi hindi ko na masyadong pinag-iisipan kaya ko ba o hindi to kaya. Gagawin ko na lang yon kasi sa panahong ito, wala tayong oras para mag-isip pa na pagbigyan mo nyo muna ako ng oras na ganito. Although, ang laging comment sa akin ng boss ko ay delayed ako lagi sa reaction ko sa mga bagay-bagay. 24 hours daw ako delay bago mag-react. Siguro yun naman ang aking survival instinct.
Yeah.
Ayoko munang mag-react. Pabayaan ko muna yan mag-sink in ng konti and then tsaka ako maglalabas ng saloobin ko.
The way that you talk right now and the ideas that are coming to you now, parang napaka-apparent na talagang sa future ka na nakatingin and are you there already? Are you past the tunnel coming from what we've experienced with the shutdown, the pandemic, the company was bleeding, but now can you say that you've seen the light?
Well,
doon na ba papunta?
As ABS is still bleeding, but we're in a better place now compared to 2-3 years ago. We're still evolving as a company. I'm still evolving also as an artist, as a person. Nakikita ko na ba lahat of the titles? Siguro meron akong... Actually, I'm at a stage din sa buhay ko na iniisip ko rin, ano pa ba ang pwede kong gawin? Diba? I've spoken to... I think I've mentioned it to Robbie Domingo. Sabi ko, Robbie, kayo na yung legacy ko eh. Kayo na iwan dito sa industry. Kayo na yung legacy ko. Yun na ba? Iniisip ko sa sarili ko, yun na ba? Should I start also thinking of what I want to do? Do I get back into directing again? There was a time I wanted to go back to filmmaking, be director again. Mas makakatulong ba ako doon? Or paninindigan ko ba to? Paalisin ba ako? Pagre-retire ba ako ng mga boss ko ngayon? So, hindi ko pa nakikita yung dulo, pero nakikita ko bumubuti naman pa konti-konti yung estado natin.
Nakakahinga ka na.
Nakakahinga ba ako? Ako nakakahinga sa interview to. Nakakahinga ba ako? Mas nagiging pragmatic ako siguro. Mas less emotional dahil yung sakit natin kahit papaano naghihilom na yung sugat natin from 5 years ago. Kasi dati parang nangangapa talaga ako. Nangangapa ako dun sa excited ako na, sige, recruit natin lahat yan. Ngayon, mas piliin na lang natin kasi para mapag-ukulan natin na mas ng oras at resources ang isang tao. Nandun kami ngayon, at least in Star Magic, to be a little more deliberate in our choices. Pero kasi, ang mahirap kasi dyan, Carmine, hindi mo naman alam talaga kung sino sisikat eh. Ngayon talaga, natututo ka lang na you be more conscious and deliberate in your choices and your belief na itong taong tong pwede tong maging sikat one day. So you make better bets. Diba? So,
You just said you're conscious and deliberate in your choices. Were you as conscious and deliberate when you allowed your daughter to sort of dip her toes in the industry? I mean, you know the good side of the industry. You also know the bad side, the heartaches that come with it. But when your daughter Leanne started composing and started, singing, di ka ba natakot?
well, mas siya yung takot. She was conscious from the start. She didn't want to be in my shadow. She didn't want to be in the same space or industry that I was in because she was afraid she's going to be compared. Sa kanya rin naman, although Lian kasi, 2 years old pala, kumakanta na talaga yan. She was into music. Napagbigyan niya kami na she was more pragmatic about her college choice, which was English literature. Dahil parang iniisip niya, baka pwede akong ibang mundo muna. So, pagka-graduate niya doon, na-discover naman siya ni Inang Star Music. So, hindi ko ano yun. Hindi ko minaobra yun. Hindi ko siya pinakilala. She was discovered on her own. And she found her way in the industry. And slowly, she was enjoying herself. Pero may pressure syempre sa kanya. Lagi naman our children will always have that pressure of, being compared to their parents. Pero ngayon kasi, mas conscious siya na music talagang gusto niya. She took up she just finished her master's in electronic music production and composition, and she was able to pass it with flying colors on her own. And now she wants to be behind the scene creating music. So
how does that make you feel?
Oh, very proud, very proud. Prouder than the Coachella.
I love it. Iba pag yung anak
Diba,
na
siyempre, yung anak ko. Tsaka, wala ako masyadong lang. Ang ko lang doon, contribution ko lang, yung tuition niya siguro, at saka yung niya. But,
ayan ka na naman sa pagka-corny mo. Oh.
Hindi, pero the hard work, hindi ko yun naalisin sa kanya yun. Achievement yan ng anak ko, hindi ko achievement yan. Achievement nila yan. And I cannot be more proud than and she's graduating in November, and I'm so excited just to be there and see her be in a big hall abroad and be given that diploma that she finished her master's. So kinikilig na ako.
I know, that's why, because I was going to say, you've seen a lot of these artists soar and fly. Some of them, they fall and they pick themselves back up again, but to see your daughter earn her wings and soar to the direction that she wants.
Ano pang hihingiin ko? And she did it on her own. More than anything, she decided on it. And just living away from us, it was so difficult. Up to now, she's now on vacation here. And every time naisip ko, aalis na naman siya at mag-ano, diba? It's nadidepress ako at nalulungkot ako dun sa idea na yun. But I know the 2 years that she was away from home, she grew talagang leaps and bounds of talagang maturity and independence and being herself. Parang wow, na naman, hindi ko okay na rin yung kapalit yung lungkot namin mag-asawa of empty nesting and the sacrifice that we have to do for that dream of hers na So pag nagsasabi naman siya sa amin na, Dad, thank you for fulfilling my dream. More than enough satisfaction and fullness of heart nararamdaman mo because of being able to do that. Siyempre, anak naman natin will do anything for our children.
And you've done a lot. You've done what you could do to change a lot of artists' lives, Direk Lauren. You've helped craft their stories, their narratives. Pero kung kayo po yung tatanungin, ano yung gusto nyong matandaan ng mga tao sa storya ninyo bilang Direk Lauren?
Bilang parte ng industriya natin, nakatulong ako hindi lamang sa artista, pero sa mga taong nagtrabaho behind the scene. Kasi hindi ko naman, I can never claim na ako lang yun. Diba? Ako yung, I may be the face or I may be the person in front, but there's a big team behind me na kung wala sila, hindi. So may yung aking tulong din, sana nakatulong din ako sa kanila na kahit papaano nahanap din nila yung mission nila sa buhay o yung nag-fulfill na kanilang mga dreams. Sana natulungan ko sila. Mas dun ko gustong maalala na ay napabuti ko yung buhay ng mga tao. Hindi lamang ng mga tao nasa harapan ng camera, pero nasa likod ng camera.
Direk Lauren Dyogi, thanks for spending the afternoon with us. Tapos na. And that's it for another episode of KC After Hours. You know the drill. Like and subscribe. I'll see you on the next one.